Downtown, Petco Park, a new beginning, let's go. Started back rocking the brown. Ever since we've been knocking them down. Baby said she wanna go to the game. Taught her how to say Padre gang. Started back rocking the brown. Ever since we've been knocking them down. Mitchell and Ness with the old school name. All of the homies holler Padre gang. Yeah, that.
Good day, everybody. Welcome to the Talking Friars pregame show for August 26, 2022. I'm your host, Ben Fadden. Padres and the Royals get underway tonight. First time I believe the Padres have played in Kansas City since like 2002. I was listening to the radio earlier today and I heard that. That's very surprising to me. I know that, usually they play like every division every 3 years. So you would think it's every 6 years that they would go to another ballpark or that division ballpark in the American League, but guess not. Musgrove is on the mound for the Padres, and then Chris Bubich is on the mound for the Royals. I believe that's how you say his name. The Padres lineup just came out. Juan Soto is not in the lineup, as people are already talking about here in the comments. He's dealing with that back issue, back tightness or back strain, whatever it is. He suffered it before, what was that, Tuesday? For Tuesday's game, I think, while he was in the cages before the game. So, he's not going to be in the lineup. Bob Melvin said on Ben and Woods earlier this morning on 97.3 The Fan that he wasn't expecting Juan to be in the lineup today, maybe tomorrow. So, maybe they're just, being cautious and waiting for tomorrow. I know some fans would probably say, hey, no, you can't wait. This team's a game and a half up only on a wild card, on a playoff spot ahead of the Brewers. We can't wait. We can't afford to wait right now. Well, when it's Juan Soto, do you want Juan Soto available for the whole month of September? Or do you want him to come back early here, hurt it again, and be put on the IL? And now you're without your best hitter for a week, couple weeks, So I'm fine with him not being on or not being in the lineup today. I do like the changes that happened in the lineup today. Ha-Seong Kim's leading off. Trent Grisham is not in the lineup after really struggling in that last series, striking out 5 times in a row at one point. Profar's hitting second now. Cronenworth's down hitting 7th. Myers, because Soto's not playing, he's back in there in right field. Nola's catching. Alfaro should not be catching anymore. Maybe he gets or maybe he doesn't get sent down, but maybe Camposano gets called up on Sunday, right? Because I think Manaya's pitching then, and Manaya usually is caught by Alfaro. So maybe that's what happened, and Camposano comes up, or Cam Gallagher comes up, because they did trade for him from Kansas City. Brent Rooker going to be playing, former Padre, going to be playing for the Royals tonight. And he's starting in the lineup, so Brent Rooker revenge game, here it comes. So maybe that's what happens. Maybe we're just not going to see Alfaro again starting. Who knows? Because he is really struggling at the plate. Can't really trust him at the plate right now. At least I can't. So, I mean, I like the lineup changes. I'll go through the entire lineup here in a minute. Well, not literally, but in a few minutes. I like the changes. Why not mix it up? This team's struggling. What are they, 8-12 or something in their last 20 games? Like, it doesn't hurt to change it up and see what Kim will do in that leadoff spot. He's been hitting well as of late, right? And see what Azokar can do. Maybe, obviously they're starting him today. Maybe you start him few games in a row and see how that works. He's hitting down in the lineup. Is he going to produce less than Trent Grisham has produced? Is that even possible? So I don't think it hurts to try. Today's game, 5:10 is the first pitch. Royals are 51-75. Padres are only 10 games over 500 now, after being like 17 at one point. Padres 68-58. I believe Don and Mudd will be back. Well, they were already there last game. When was that? Was that this past weekend when they weren't together? But as for Musgrove, he's been pitching well as of late. Last 3 starts, combined 5 runs allowed. Start before these last 3 starts, he gave up 6 runs alone in that start. Last time out, 6 innings, 1 run, didn't walk anyone against the Nationals. Yeah, he faced the Marlins and the Nationals, but he did face the Giants on August 9th. Didn't walk anyone there, gave up only 1 run. After that Colorado start, it seemed like he had identified the problem and he was gonna fix it with his, delivery or his mechanics, something like that, and it looks like he's fixed it. And so I think the Padres can rely on him, and we should expect him to go out there against this Royals offense, and put together a quality start. Musgrove has not walked anyone in his last 3 starts. He's combined to strike out 16 guys in those starts. So yeah, he's been pitching really, really well, going at least 6 innings these last 3 starts. And that's what I'm paying attention to most going into today's start for Musgrove, because that's these last 3 starts are when he's or since he's identified that problem with his mechanics and all that. And then for Chris Bubich or Bubik, however you say it, his last start, August 20th, holy cow, gave up 4 runs, didn't make it out of the 4th, so it kinda seems like Blake Snell here. Walked 2, didn't strike out anyone. He can strike out guys, struck out 7 guys on August 15th, the start before his last start. Um, but I mean, as for this year, negative WAR, 5.29 ERA, his WHIP's above 1.6. You want it to be probably around 1, less than 1. So yeah, this is definitely a favorable pitching matchup for the Padres. But again, I feel like I've been saying that for days, and maybe even weeks, maybe not including that Miami series when they had Alcantara throwing and Pablo Lopez throwing. But I feel like I'm saying that a lot recently, and it doesn't matter because they're not beating Anibal Sanchez or they're not beating Aaron Savali, who they threw on, what was that, Tuesday night, the Guardians. And they're letting Cal Quantrill, good pitcher. He he was on Wednesday, but he's not Max Scherzer or anything. He's not Sandy Alcantara. Um, letting those guys go 7 innings against him, you know, 6 innings, strong starts. That needs to stop, especially when you're playing the Kansas City Royals. I mean, come on, this guy has a 5+ ERAs, this year. Musgrove has 136 strikeouts. Bubich has 80 strikeouts. Like, it's not comparable. Like, this is a game you got to win. And the Brewers, they start off a series against the Cubs at home, and the Cubs are 54-71. So we're both playing bad teams, Padres and the Brewers. So if the Padres can't capitalize against the Royals here, you would think that the Brewers are going to capitalize against the Cubs and the Padres are going to lose ground even more or just be leftover in the wild card positioning. Padre pick today is Ha-Seong Kim. Last game it was Ha-Seong Kim, got 2 hits for me on Wednesday, so I'm 78-43 so far this season in my pregame show Padre pick. For anyone that's new, my Padre pick is the one Padre. If I had to pick one guy who I think will get a hit in that day's game, that's who I pick. That's the Padre pick. So I'm going with Ha-Seong Kim, batting leadoff. Really no sample size at all against Bubich, however you say it. Josh Bell has 2 at bats, batting 1,000 off him, but that's no sample size. But here's the Padres' full lineup: Ha-Seong Kim, shortstop, leading off. Then Profar's in left. He's hitting second. Manny's at third, batting third. Jury's at first, batting fourth. Batting fifth is Josh Bell. He's DHing. Myers batting sixth and right because Soto's still not starting, dealing with the back issue. Crony is at second, batting seventh. Nola's catching, batting eighth. And then Jose Azocar getting, I believe, his first start. No, it's not his first start. I think it's his second start. His first start, I think, was last Sunday against the Nationals since being called back up when they DFA'd Nomar Mazara. So Zokar's batting ninth in center field. I like the changes, like I said a few minutes ago. Doesn't hurt, right? This offense, they're getting guys on base. Like, that's also part of it. Like, you make these additions at the deadline, and it's not like, oh, they have Juan Soto out, Ben. No, they had a losing record with Juan Soto in the lineup. What just doesn't make sense right now. Well, it makes sense, like I've said on previous episodes, like their approach, swing at better pitches, be aggressive, but be aggressively smart, if that makes sense. I've said that multiple times. So it makes sense why they're struggling. They're just not converting with runners in scoring position. But it also at the same time doesn't make sense because they're getting guys on base. It's when they get guys in scoring position, it's like, "Oh, no, now it's like a rally killing single into the or a double into the gap," you know? Uh, Runner on first, single, now you got first and third. Oh, now that just killed the rally. When there's runner in scoring position now, runners in scoring position, that is, or just a runner on second or third, whatever the situation, it feels like, "Oh, they're not gonna come in, or they're not gonna come through with that," you know? Day obviously the big one to me, that Thursday night game last Thursday against the Nationals had, was it bases loaded, 1 out, and Grisham struck out swinging, Soto struck out swinging, Soto slammed his bat or his, helmet, excuse me, rolled all the way to Manny on the on-deck circle, just a lot of frustration, and obviously I know they're pissed off, but, you know, we're pissed off too, and we just wanna see those results change. And like Myers said after the game yesterday, or not yesterday, the off day, but on Wednesday, they just got to find a way to convert with runners in scoring position. That's just the way it is. The Royals, they're going to have MJ Melendez lead off. He's in left. Bobby Witt Jr. Him and Salvador Perez are the two big names. Just, I don't watch the Royals every day. So those are the two big names that stand out to me. Um, Bobby Witt, third base. He's batting second. Salvador Perez, he's catching. He's batting third. Michael Massey, never heard of that guy. He is their cleanup hitter, batting. Uh, he's playing second base. Michael Taylor, former National, he's in center, batting fifth. Nick Pratto is at first, batting sixth. Former Padre Brent Rooker is DHing for them. He's batting under 100. Drew Waters is in right field, batting eighth. Nicky Lopez is at shortstop, batting ninth. I believe he used to play for the Orioles. No home runs combined this year out of their 7 through 9 hitters, at least in the majors, for the Royals. Rooker, Waters, and Lopez. So Musgrove attack those guys. I know Rooker has the home run power, but he's struggling. Attack those guys. Their 4 hitter has 1 home run in the big leagues this year for the Royals in Michael Massey, however you say it. But yeah, the top 3 guys are who you want to watch. 14 home runs for Melendez. Bobby Witt Jr. has 18. Salvi has 17. But after that, they have a combined 10 home runs in the last 6 guys in their lineup this year. So attack. That's the game plan for Joe Musgrove today, I think. Quality start needs to happen. And this needs to be a win. Like we can, I know I can say here, I feel like I probably have, like, oh, this is a must-win game. It's not truly a must-win game, and I know today, I guess, truly isn't a must-win game. It's not a must-win game until, um, you would be mathematically eliminated from the postseason if you don't win it, technically, right? But you're playing the Kansas City Royals. You got the Brewers playing the Cubs, another bad team. You think that the Brewers are gonna win those games against the Cubs, so you gotta if you want this wild card spot still by the end of the weekend, you got to win these games, and you hope the Padres can sweep. You got Musgrove today, Darvish tomorrow coming off paternity leave, and then Manaea on Sunday. So, and Manaea looked really, really good his last start. I know he gave up the home run, but I was sitting there like 12 rows behind home plate, and he looked really good. Obviously not the velocity, but that's just not who he is. But he was attacking the strike zone. All right. Any questions, any comments? Soto, Padres, let me know here in the chat. That's what we'll end with. With J Fly saying no Soto in the lineup, that is concerning. I don't know if it's concerning. I mean, Bomel was saying this morning, as I mentioned earlier, he expected Soto not to be in the lineup today. Yeah, you'd rather have Juan Soto in the lineup than not, but I expect him probably to return tomorrow. Just based on what I've seen, read, heard from the media and Bob Melvin and the Padres, I would think that he comes back tomorrow. Yeah, and Marco says it's bad timing for the Padres to not have Soto. I know, but it's not like they're going into the Dodgers series without Soto, right? They're playing the Kansas City Royals. Like, these are still games I think they should win. J Fly likes Kim batting leadoff. I do too, at least for now. Got to see what he can do, change it up. By the way, if you want to support the channel, you can use the super chat button in the comments. On regular videos, you can use the super thanks button. I appreciate you guys' support. Just a Padre fan doing this for Padres fans, talking with Padres fans. Will the Padres score more than 3 runs today? That's a good question. I think they will. This feels like a 9-1 game to me, but I know with their offense, it's not. You can't really be confident that it's going to be like a 9-1 Padre win. But it feels, I mean, you're facing a guy with a 5+ ERA. You got Joe on the mound who's been pitching well recently. You still have a more talented lineup than they do, even without Soto and Tatis. Like, it still feels like the Padres should score more than 3 runs today. You hope they can bust out and then consistently score runs, right? We've seen some games where they busted out, scored like 10 runs or something like that against Miami, that one, the getaway game. And then they can't do that. I'm not saying they have to score 10 runs every game consistently. I'm saying, okay, can you go 3-4 runs consistently instead of losing 2-1 or 3-1 or whatever scores there are, or scoring 3 runs, bullpen blows it. I know that's not on the offense, but scoring more than 3 runs consistently. Let's see if they can do that. Hopefully that starts this weekend. J-Fly says we need to start stealing bases more, convert all those singles to basically doubles. Well, you can't convert all of them to doubles. With stolen bases, like there's just guys that are going to single on this team. They're not going to steal second. I could probably go down the list. You probably know who those guys are. But like Cronenworth, maybe Manny does have speed. There's guys in this lineup, Profar, Kim, like Kim, I think stole a base the other day. I'd be fine with that, sure. But Bob Melvin hasn't been really a guy that's, pushes the envelope. Like, let's be really, really aggressive. Here's the thing, like they are getting guys in scoring position too. Like I know it's like some fans might see, oh, this offense is struggling, you know. We need more guys in scoring position. Well, getting more guys in scoring position helps, but they're getting guys in scoring position. They're getting guys on base. The other night they left 10 guys on base. It's it's capitalizing when you have guys on base. That's the problem. So, yeah, steal more bases when you can with guys that can steal bases, but that's not the problem. That's not why they're not scoring enough runs. They just got to come through with guys in scoring position. They're getting guys on base. They're just not coming through. That's what's frustrating. Brian, thank you so much for the super chat. Says thanks for doing this for us and the Padres. I appreciate that. Yeah, I just love baseball, love the Padres. They're my team. Family has season tickets. Pregame shows pretty much every day. Daily game reactions, usually series reactions. I do breakdowns with some lip reading, bullpen usage charts, at Talking Friars on Twitter, and in-game clips, highlights, stuff that the Padres won't put out. I put it out. So I encourage you to follow me there as well, and then subscribe to this YouTube channel for daily Padres content. I really appreciate it. Also, the podcast is available too on the podcast platforms. Just look up Gaslamp Ball, and then it's there. Or you can just go to the Twitter account, hit the link there, or the Instagram, the link tree, and it'll take you to all of the pages, all the sites, the links that you need. Yeah, Marco here says it will be a low-scoring game as usual, even though their pitcher is garbage. I think that's what he meant to say instead of even tough. Yeah, I know we were just watching that national series, right? I know they just played the Guardians, but the national series just last weekend, and you're facing Anibal Sanchez, and I think they lost that game, stuff like that. I don't blame you for feeling that way, but at some point, it's like, okay, look at the matchup here. They're gonna blow it open. I hope that that's today with the changes they made in the lineup. I hope that's today, and they get pissed off and just go at it. J-Fly, I appreciate this. Says, good interview the other day. He's talking about the one with Bryce Miller. That is out on this YouTube channel and on the podcast platforms, by the way, if you're interested. We talked about AJ Preller, a lot of stuff about AJ Preller, how he was hired. There was a 3 a.m. meeting when he wasn't supposed to be the GM. and he ended up convincing the Padres, Mike D at the time, and then the rest of the Padres ownership, Ron Fowler, to make the change and actually hire AJ to be the GM. So if he didn't have that meeting, things would have definitely changed. If they would have stuck with Billy Epler, I think that's who it was, supposed to be instead of Preller, we might not have Juan Soto, Tatis, and Manny right now. Who knows? Um, Very interesting stuff. How Preller stayed up for only 45 minutes. Or excuse me, he slept for 45 minutes before the trade deadline, that the night before the trade deadline, just of how hard of a worker he is. It wasn't just about Preller. Tatis's apology. Bryce was there in the dugout, so asked questions about the environment in that dugout and what it was like, and if you believe Tatis's apology. Went into a lot of stuff. Padres offense. So I encourage you to check that interview out. It still is relevant. Padres haven't played since that interview, so um, feel free to check that out if you want to. Oh yeah, real quick, bullpen usage chart. Forgot about that. It's out on the Twitter already. There's not a whole lot to talk about. That's probably why I forgot about it. So I would expect Castillo or Wilson, someone to be sent down tomorrow to make room for you, Darvish, because he's on the paternity list. He's going to start tomorrow. So I'd expect Darvish to be activated tomorrow before the game and then a reliever to be sent down. But everyone, Hader, Garcia, Martinez, Hill, Chris Matt, Morhone, Wilson, Suarez, Castillo, a lot of names right now. But they all had the day off yesterday, obviously. I saw Steven Wilson was at a golf course. He posted that on Instagram. So they got their day off. So today they should be ready to go. Josh Hader, I was encouraged by what I saw from him on Wednesday. We'll see if they pitch him in a higher leverage situation where it's not 7-0 or 7-1 or whatever. Or yeah, 7-0. But I like, fastball was back. Breaking ball location looked a lot better. So maybe they'll put him in a 4-run game or a 5-run game and just gradually get him back to that closer role. We'll see. But everyone is available, so not a whole lot to talk about with the bullpen stuff. Padres, Royals. Padres are definitely a better team than the Royals. They got to win this series, and hopefully they can sweep. 5:10 first pitch, Bally Sports San Diego, 97.3 The Fan. My prediction, real quick, I see this by Marco. I expect them to take the series. Sweeping on the road is hard. Don't know what you're going to get out of Darvish from paternity leave. Don't know what you're going to get out of Manaea. Can he be consistent back-to-back starts? And the Padres are the Padres, right? Like, you're playing a bad team, but as we've seen, that doesn't mean anything. So I'm just going to go with taking 2 out of 3 before they move on to San Francisco. All right, so that's going to do it. Talking Friars pregame show for August 26, 2022. Oh, Eggy Rosario, Luis Camposano are in Kansas City. So Alfaro, I would think, would go on the IL. Eggy Rosario, maybe he gets called. Would Matthew Batten get sent down? People are saying, oh, Soto's actually hurt. I don't really believe that. Matthew Batten's still on this roster, is he not? I was just about to end it here and I saw that comment. I think Matthew Batten's still on the roster, so he would be the guy that would be sent down. Yeah, he's still on the active roster. Matthew Batten. So they just replaced Batten with Rosario. Yeah, so no, I don't think Soto is truly hurt. Unless we hear differently. But I would think Alfaro goes to the IL and Campy gets brought up. They could also be taxi squad guys too, at least for tonight. And then you could send Batten down and bring Eggy Rosario up. So quick news right there to end it. Those are my thoughts on that. I'll have the highlights, the clips, lowlights, Talking Friars on Twitter. I appreciate everyone tuning in. Go Padres, keep the faith. Ben Fadden signing off. I'll see you guys later. Go Pods.